Hi guys, so we're here today to show you guys how I repot my plants. And I just like to start off by laying some paper out just because we're going to be using soil and I'm doing it inside instead of outside. So, just to be tidy. So you make sure you have your potting soil, whatever you want to repot your plant in. And I got this from Marshall's. As you can see, it was only $6.99. I love Marshalls. You always find like good little finds in there. So you start off with some rocks, and I like to mimic how the ground is. So you put a layer of rocks, a layer of soil, your plant, and then more soil. You don't really need a lot of rocks, just kind of like a thin layer. That way too, if you overwater your plants, the water will seep and sit in the rocks. And whenever the plant needs the water, it'll suck the water back up. And so, yes, make sure you have some indoor potting soil. I've never tried to repot my plants with outdoor mix, but I just feel like it's best to have indoor since I do have house plants. And you kind of just fill it up really to how high you want your plant to go. I'm only doing mine about halfway because my plants' roots are pretty long and I don't want it to be too high up. Like I want it to sit in the pot perfectly. So you just even it out. You're really supposed to have on gloves and use a shovel, but I'm using my hands. I can't find my shovel anywhere, so yeah. So I have my golden potus or ivy, or I probably butchered how you say the name of the plant, but you see what it is. And I'm just cleaning it, making sure all the dead leaves are off before I repot it. Just giving it a good little cleanup. Normally, when you're repotting, they tell you to knock all the dirt off of the roots, but you don't have to do that. You can do that. Depending on the plant, I may do it, but for this one, I'm not. And since this was a longer plant, they had it like tied up so that the leaves just wouldn't be hanging everywhere. So I'm just going to take this out so I can repot it properly. And make sure when you're removing your plant, you be really gentle because, your plants are your babies and they're very fragile and you don't want to hurt them. So now that I've gotten that out, I'll just gradually pull a little just to loosen it up. Make sure too when you're repotting your plant that you water it the day before so that the soil can be loose, because if you don't water it the day before and the soil is hard, it'll be a lot harder to get your plant out of its original pot. So, I'm still just cleaning up because it was a few little leaves that I forgot to take out. And then, you just kind of position your plant how you want it to go in the pot. Now that you got all the leaves situated, you're just going to start taking the soil and kind of pressing it down. So you want to make sure that your plant is in its pot securely. And by securely, I mean like there's enough dirt or enough soil. It's not like moving around. You making sure that you're patting down the sides so that there's soil covering the roots all the way around. So that's just what I'm going to do now. Make sure that I have enough soil in my pot so that it's packed down, it's tight and nicely secured. so that way my roots can fill the soil and get the nutrients or whatever is in the soil that the plant needs. I don't know if it's nutrients, but my plants are my babies, and if it's nutrients in the soil, then that's just what it is. So now I'm just gonna wipe around, make sure all the soil is off the edges, off the pot, just clean it up and make it pretty because we're all done.